Are you looking to improve your golf game in 2025? Look no further than Golf by Gun. Golf by Gun specializes in individual lessons, small group sessions for 2 to 3 people, and even corporate events to enhance your networking skills on the green. In addition, couples golf lessons are a perfect way to bond with your partner while mastering your swings together. Here's an exclusive offer for our listeners. If you mention Chiefs Central, you will get $10 off your first lesson. That's right, $10 off your first lesson. Take your game to new heights and enjoy the sport you love even more. Follow Golf by Gun on Instagram and Facebook for tips and updates, or reach out via email at golfbygun@gmail.com. See you on the course.
Cappy, we made it to
Hey, I
50.
know you.
We made it to 50 episodes.
I know. I can't believe. Did you really think that when we started this about a year ago that we would ever have 50 episodes of this?
Nope. We just wanted to start it because we like talking about the Chiefs and we like talking about hockey and figured maybe some other people would like to hear our obnoxious opinions, and it's kind of grown nicely over the last year or so.
It really has. And then to think that, I mean, I figure we've gotten to 50 because this year's team is so much more to talk about in positive light. So we've stuck with doing it weekly, and it's been fun. I never thought we'd get to 50. But I didn't think that would ever necessarily get to any set number. It just kind of started, and it's just kind of rolling. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's great to do. It's nice, it kind of, not that I didn't, love going to games already, but it gives me a little bit more excitement going to games and watching games online, because it's like we get to talk about it again in a couple days and then,
Yeah,
put it
exactly.
out there and everything too. So it almost makes me like pay attention to the little things in the game a little bit
Hmm.
more
A
here
little
and
bit
there
more.
too.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it does the same for me. Did you think that we would ever get to the point where we're having interviews like we had Dan Holden on and we've had Mike Boyle? Did you ever think we'd get to that point?
No, pretty crazy
I mean,
stuff. And
I hoped we would, but I didn't necessarily expect it.
well, when we started doing this, I told you the first person, well, like big person I wanted to interview was Boiler, and we got him. So we got that
Yeah.
one under our belt in the first 50 episodes. So I thought that
And
was pretty cool.
did you personally have a target in mind for who you wanted to interview after or anything?
After Boiler, not anyone in particular, just kind of
Yeah.
seeing if we could get any of the boys on. We've talked to a few of them and are actually in the process of setting up some with a couple of former players and current players as well. And then obviously, milestone episode 50, we have two player interviews to bring you
Pretty
guys.
cool.
Um, yeah, really two really good young kids that have a good head on their shoulders, great hockey players, and just very nice of them to come on and join us and BS with us for 15-20 minutes.
One of them being probably the youngest chief in the organization,
Mhm.
and one of them that's kind of in the middle of the pack, but definitely an elder statesman, so to speak. I hope people enjoyed the interviews as much as we did.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Is there
and
kind
just
of is there kind of anything you wanted to say about, just overall, like doing this, and just like, we have a pretty decent following now too, with a lot of local people and, players' families and stuff
Mhm.
that listen. You just want to say anything about, the first 50 episodes and kind of where we're looking to go from here?
Back when during the pandemic, when you and I started doing two guns, same target, my goal with that was for you to have something to look on back on down the road, and myself too, if I live to be 100, who knows? But to look back at just something that you and I did together, just good memories.
Yeah.
And for me, this kind of started out that way too, but it's grown into something more than that. I mean, I did an episode with you from Mexico. Um, it's just grown. It's just fun to do something with my son on my end. So I really enjoy that aspect of it more than anything. But it's fun to talk about good hockey and a good hockey team that we have this year. I've enjoyed every second of it, and I look forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, same here. I feel like the main thing is I wanted to do a podcast of sorts for a long time, just because I mean, not only is everybody doing it now, but I mean, I wanted to hop on the bandwagon. So I like talking hockey, and I like I've been going to games with you since I was in diapers, shitting my pants in the middle of the second period. So, um, Yeah, it was kind of a thing. It's like something fun to do with you. I wouldn't want to do a Chiefs podcast with anybody other than you.
Right.
So
No, I that.
I'm glad that we are able to do this. And it's living on opposite sides of town. We could very well do this in person too, but it's just easier
Right.
doing it over Zoom. Can record each other's video that way and everything too. And then I could just kind
Mhm.
of throw it together on my computer without having to transfer any files. So it's just easy doing it this way. But same thing. We still get to go to games together, and you still come by and watch away games and stuff too.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's just fun being able to have another aspect of just like talking hockey with you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I guess should huh?
Yep. Well, I was going to say, what do we think of this first interview that we're going to put up here? What do you think?
Uh
What do you think of this young kid? We won't even name who it is yet, but what do you think of this young kid?
I think he's got a real bright future in the WHL and beyond. He's already considered a prospect for the 2027 NHL draft, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, and I definitely think that, the best is yet to come for him. And we're just gonna look forward to seeing him grow as a hockey player and as a Chief in the next couple of seasons. He's going to be one of those guys who's going to be kind of a leader for us down the road, I think. And
Yeah.
yeah, he was a fun kid, a really nice kid to talk to. It
Super,
was,
super nice. And the kids put up some serious numbers.
yeah, put up some serious numbers at the U15 level and the U18 level, and just 2 weekends ago scored his first Western Hockey League goal against the Everett Silvertips. Beautiful goal too. We talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess we could just send it over, and here's our interview with Chiefs first round pick from this year, Ossie McIntyre. We're super excited to be joined by the Spokane Chiefs seventh overall pick in the 2024 Bantam Draft. He just scored his first career WHL goal last weekend in Everett. Ossie McIntyre, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Congratulations on the goal.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I bet that felt really nice to get that out of the way.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Yeah. Kind of take us through that. Like, you have the penalty and then out of the box. And I was telling him, it's like, it's every kid's dream, coming out of the box and going away on a breakaway to score.
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome. It was like a surreal feeling. It almost felt like I didn't even know what I was doing. I was in a dream. But coming out of the box to get that breakaway felt really good.
Yeah, for sure. And it
And you put
looked
a
like he
nice
had some,
move on the goalie, too.
yeah, it was a nice
Yeah.
little forehand backhand move
Yeah.
there.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Uh, so first off, you got a chance to play a handful of games with the Chiefs this year. You've been able to contribute to the production offensively in that time period. How difficult is like the adjustment with playing in the WHL compared to like the U18?
Yeah, I'd say if you have pretty high IQ in hockey, it's a big difference between like the age groups and stuff, like muscling you. But I feel like if you have good hockey IQ, it's just a little move up levels in hockey.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people compare like the speed being a lot faster and everything
Yeah.
too. And if you're able to adjust to that quicker, you're gonna have a better time adjusting to the league and everything too. But it seems like you've done that in the 6 games that you played with the Chiefs this year. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's been really impressive watching. I genuinely think that you could fit in on the team for like the remainder of the season, just by the way that you mesh with guys like Cohen Harris and Brody Gillespie and those guys too.
Absolutely.
Um, with the U15 team last year, you had some insane numbers.
Yeah.
55 goals, 49 assists, and 104 points in just 34 games. That
Yeah.
is crazy, man. What motivates you to be able to kind of put up those kinds of numbers?
I feel like last year was a big confidence year for me. I felt like I had a pretty good season, and just bringing that into this year, I try to help my team win as much as I can every single game.
And now you're moved up to the U18 ranks too, in the same area with the same team. You playing in your hometown?
Yeah, I'm playing here in St. Albert. Yeah, I live just 5 minutes away from the rink too.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
perfect. That's got to be
Yeah.
great. Um, so
I
yeah,
probably don't have to ask who your favorite NHL team is, and with that proximity, then do I?
My favorite team is Toronto Maple Leafs, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it's time to end this podcast right now because I don't like drama.
I definitely thought you'd be an Oilers fan being that
Yeah, me
close
too.
to Edmonton.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Toronto's got some good talent too, though. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the NHL, some smaller guys like yourself that you could probably, look up to. Is there anybody in particular that, you kind of try to model your game after?
Mostly Jack Hughes off New Jersey. I think he's pretty good and creative with the puck in the O zone.
Yeah, definitely is.
That's a good pick.
I can see a little bit of comparison there for sure. Um, you just played your first game at the Spokane Arena. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. There's tons of fans there, and the goal song as as they score is pretty cool too. So it was pretty fun playing at home.
Yeah, I bet you play. I mean, you played in a handful of pretty big games for Spokane in
Yeah.
this season too. Do you feel like you're meshing well with the whole team and just kind of like being able to be thrown into the lineup when you get called up and everything too? And just like, is there really like a tough adjustment period?
Well, yeah, the guys are really welcoming there and welcome me in nice every time I go. So I feel pretty comfortable when I get into the games and I'm able to just play my game with the chemistry with the line that I have.
Yeah. Is it tough, like, just getting the call randomly to come up to Spokane? You kind of just got to drop everything and head up. Is that difficult at all?
It's just super exciting. Like when you get the
Yeah.
phone call, and then you gotta rush to the airport. It's just a little bit of nerves, but it's pretty exciting for the most part.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I was going to ask, how much warning do you have? I mean, is it that day they call you in the morning and you're on a plane that night, or
This last time it was the day before, so I got to go the night and sleep though.
did you sleep that night?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was a little toned for the next day.
Um, so I understand that you have a very athletically gifted family.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell us about them and how they've kind of helped you become like the athlete that you are.
Obviously, my dad first. He pushes me like every day while I'm working out and stuff. But my mom's a personal trainer, so she's the one who like sets up all the workouts for me in the summer and really pushes me to get better.
Yeah, say I was watching a couple of interviews that you did with some of the PR guys from the Chiefs, and they were talking about your I think it was your great grandfather was like a CFL legend or something.
Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame for the CFL and the Eskimos.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um, and then you have an older brother that played in the Western Hockey League.
yeah, he was with Wenatchee for a bit, and now he's in the SJHL.
Really? Is he so is
Yeah,
he 19, 20-year old ish right around
he's
there or
18,
18?
18. Yeah.
Yeah. So did that, he him having that experience, did that help you kind of adjust to playing in the WHL too?
Yeah, 100%. He like talked to me before like what camp's like and what all the fast tempo of the game is like. It really helped me actually.
Nice.
That makes sense. I'm sure, him having even the little bit of experience that he had definitely would have helped.
Yeah.
Did you know anything about Spokane before being drafted?
I had one friend on the team, Mathis Preston. He called me after the draft a couple days after and just told me everything about it, and it was just really cool to hear all the stuff he had to say.
Yeah, he's a pretty dynamic player too.
Yeah.
I think, a couple years down the road, you guys on a line together, that's going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
are there any players on the team this season that, when you've been up, you've been able to kind of look up to as someone to try to model your style of play after?
Yeah, obviously, I'd probably say Berkly Catton. Just the way he plays out there is just so cool to watch, and I try to model my game after him a little bit too.
That's
Yeah,
a good choice.
he makes it look so simple out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do you have anything?
I want to know just overall, how much fun did you have over the weekend, these 3 games?
Yeah, it's just a surreal experience. You go there and you hop on the ice for the intros, and it's just so cool. It's so loud. It's just awesome.
Yeah. How did it feel to beat Everett the way you guys beat Everett?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous going in, knowing that they're a pretty good team. But then after the first period, I felt like our team had the up on them.
Yeah. It was weird to see you guys put up 6 goals in that first period. It's nothing any of us expected at all. And then
Yeah.
it just piling it on too. That was a pretty impressive thing. I know they were down a few players, but so were the Chiefs too. So very fun to watch. I just wondered how much fun the overall weekend was for you.
Yeah, it was awesome. All the guys were so welcoming, and it was so fun to be there.
Good. When does your season end now where you're at?
There's 6 more regular season games left, and then playoffs start in the start of March.
Nice. So you're a couple of weeks behind the WHL?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you make a nice deep run with your team, and we see it towards the end here when the playoffs start for the Chiefs too. That'd be great to see again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you could fit in very nicely on this team this year for a playoff run for sure. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much all we got for you, Ozzy. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thank you guys.
And good luck rest of the season. We'll probably see you toward the end of the year.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me on.
For sure, man. Have fun. What a great interview.
That kid is so nice.
Yeah, it was such a fun time. Kind of the first player interview that we've had.
Yeah, that was fun to do. It's such a good kid too. You sent him the link and everything, and he's like, "Well, just a minute, I'm finishing up dinner." Just
yeah, yeah,
very, very good kid.
Yeah, he had just gotten back up to Canada after playing 3 games with the Chiefs in that 3-3 weekend last week, and he played well that weekend. We kind of talked about that a little bit, and he's just you could tell that he's excited about being a Chief too, and that's awesome.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's very excited.
But yeah, I mean, super fun first interview, and that kind of opened the door for getting our next guest that we'll reveal a little bit later on after we recap this past weekend with the games on Friday against Seattle and then Saturday against Victoria. So I guess we'll jump right into Friday against Seattle. Just a complete domination effort from Spokane. I mean, it's that first line, it just continues. And barring any injuries, knock on wood, I think this line is going to be very, 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 very hard to stop through the rest of the year, including the playoffs.
How many goals has this team scored in like the last 5 games?
I think I saw something that it's in the 40s and down, or something.
Crazy, and given up like 12.
Yeah, I mean our goals against to goals for ratio is insane. The first line is just putting up absolute numbers, but it's not only the first line. The secondary scoring is doing a lot of work too. The third line continues to stay hot, even with Owen Martin jumping in there with Mathis Preston being out of the lineup. Marty's still kind of getting back into the groove of things a little bit, finally starting to put the puck in the net again, including this game against Seattle. He scored 2 goals and kind of looked like his self where he was at the start of the season. So great sign for that. And then Chase Harrington just continues to improve as the year goes on too, showing off his speed in that first goal in the first period, kind of blowing through all the Seattle defenders at neutral ice and walking in on a breakaway and scoring 5-hole on Scott Ratzlaff. But yeah, I mean, overall, just a complete dominant effort by the Chiefs. 4 goals in the first period. Chase Harrington, that goal I was just alluding to, and then Berkly Catton scoring 11 minutes into the period. Nathan Mays and Rasmus Ekstrom connecting on a 2-on-0 or a 2-on-1 rather. And then Owen Martin scoring his first of the night, his 6th of the season, with about 20 seconds to go in the first period. So, going into the first intermission, it was all Chiefs.
Yes, very much so.
4-0, outshot Seattle 12-8. Dawson Cowan in net played a really good game for even the low amount of shots that he did face. Were you at all surprised that Cowan started that game over Essler?
I was. I initially thought, when I saw that Cowan was in net, my first thought was, I would have thought Essler would start and save Cowan for the next night. But then I also got to thinking, you know what? Cowan's I think he's now tied for the league lead in wins with somebody else. I thought I saw that the other day, but I thought, well, maybe he's just going to go back to back.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Yeah.
When he did start, I didn't even expect Essler to play last night. Cowan would just play both.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit interesting that because I would have thought, and I talked to some other fans too that thought that maybe it would be the other way around. Essler would be playing in Seattle, a team that's obviously struggling a little bit this season, and Victoria having a good year. I figured we would see Cowan for sure, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But Cowan did play a good game overall.
He did.
21 saves. Obviously, we picked up the 9-1 victory, but their only goal that Seattle would score in the game came about 30 seconds after Berkly Catton's goal, 30 seconds into the second period. Hit Berkly Catton's second of the night, 25th of the year. Um, Seattle would answer back very quickly to make it a 5-1 game, kind of give the team a little bit more of a jump coming out of the locker room. But the Chiefs would hold them off the board for the rest of the game. And then about halfway through the second period, Berkly Catton would pick up his third career hat trick for the Chiefs. That goal was insanely
It was
gorgeous.
nasty. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think that he's showing off for Seattle over
He's in
there.
he's in Kraken land over there. You bet he is.
He just took the puck at the blue line and just skated around everybody and sniped it. There's nothing you can do about that. I mean,
No,
his skill just continues to blow my mind every single game.
it was like watching McDavid.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's something about him and just the way that he sees everything out there and the way that he moves around on the ice, just his ability to thread the puck through passing or skating around guys, which it
Mm-hmm.
makes it look so easy. And it's just it blows my mind every game.
I'm really impressed with, and I've mentioned it to you before, sitting next to you at a game in person where he is on a forecheck or, trying to get the puck from somebody, and he doesn't go at it aggressively. He just stands and waits his time and then does a timely stick pop or something too. And 4 out of 5 times he comes out of that corner with the puck, taking it from somebody too. He's really good at that stuff.
I've noticed that, and then to go along with that, when he picks the puck away, he does like a quick glance in front of the net, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
somebody cutting, he'll hit you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always a tape to tape pass. Like he's just such an all around good, not only a playmaker but just an all around great two-way player because
Mm-hmm.
he is good on the back check too. You could tell that he wants to improve even more.
Mm-hmm.
That he
Mm-hmm.
he's obviously one of the best players, Chiefs, that I've ever seen play in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But he just continues to get better and better, and you could tell that he wants to get better because he wants to make that jump to the next level.
Yeah.
And I think he's on the right track for it for sure. But um, yeah,
Well, if we get a chance to interview him, we should ask him that.
yeah, we should. Um, so then no scoring again the rest of the second period, going into the second intermission, up 6-1, and then 3 minutes into the third period, Berkly Catton gets his fourth goal of the night. Um, I- Unreal. 27th of the season for number 27, assisted by Owen Martin and Owen Shetler. That was our first power play goal in the game. We had 7
Yeah.
power plays, and then we only scored on one of them. Kind of the one downside to the game. Obviously, getting one is still good, but um, kind of would like to see us number one power play in the league getting at least 2 goals if you're going to have 7 power plays. But
Yeah. But
I
you know
mean,
what?
beggars can't be choosers, right?
Sometimes I saw somebody post on it in the Chiefs group on Facebook about that too. Sometimes, you know what? The other team just happens to have a very good penalty kill on that particular night as well.
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean, look at us, even the last couple of years with as kind of shaky as the team was, there were nights where our penalty kill was really good.
Yeah.
And you would think that the other team probably had that same feeling, like they should have scored a lot of goals against us, and they didn't. Sometimes you just have those games. You match up against a goalie that's pretty hot and good penalty kill on the other team too. I don't think it was a lack of execution. They just didn't go in.
Yeah, I mean, we're moving the puck well, and it's not like we were giving up any like shorthanded opportunities for Seattle or anything like that. It would just um honestly, their penalty kill played very well for Seattle. They
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they were blocking shots, even being down, 6 to
Mm-hmm.
1, 7-1. They were blocking shots. Their goalies actually playing very, very well. Scott Ratzlaff came out, I think, at the end of the second period
Yeah.
and replaced by Malinowski, but
Malinowski played good. I
he
thought.
played good. Yeah, he played good in the third period too. So yeah, like you said, it's just one of those things. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I mean, we went 0 for 8 in Everett. a couple of weeks back,
Exactly.
right after the Andrew Crystal trade.
Right.
And then the next night went 5 for 6. So we know that they're capable of scoring on the power play, just sometimes it's just not meant to be,
Yeah.
which is
That's not
fine, especially if you're putting up 9 goals already, you know?
exactly.
So then 8 minutes into the third period, Andrew Crystal scores his 35th goal of the year with a beautiful feed from Rhett Sather out
Yes,
front.
it was.
Second game in a row, Sather has found Crystal for a backdoor tap in. Rhett Sather has really come along
Yeah.
this year. I mean, you could tell that he's going to be kind of a guy that is going to contribute offensively as well as defensively in the next couple of years.
Yeah. You mark my words now that that kid will be one of those 3 20-year-olds in his 20-year-old season.
I can see that. I really really like his game.
Yeah.
He's a pass first kind of a pass first defenseman, but I think he's once the puck goes in, once he scores his first goal, it's going to come in waves too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm really really impressed with how he's been this year, and I'm glad that he ended up being a mainstay on the roster this year.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Uh, and then 5 minutes left in the third period. Chiefs would cap the scoring. Owen Martin getting his seventh goal of the season, second goal of the night. Once again, assisted by Rhett Sather. So Sather with 2 assists on the game. Chase Harrington getting the other one. So Chiefs pick up a 9-1 victory over the Thunderbirds. Berkly Catton, 4 goals and an assist for a +4. Chase Harrington with a goal and an assist. And then let's see what else we got here. Nathan Mays with a goal and an assist and a +3. Mazer, I thought, had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, he did.
He looked really good this week. Shea Van Olm 3 assists. Owen Martin was 2 goals and 2 assists. And then Chase Harrington a goal and an assist, and Andrew Crystal a goal and 2 assists for a +3. So just great contributions all throughout the lineup. Just a complete effort again. Nobody takes their foot off the gas even when they're up 9-1. That's
No,
the other thing that I love to see.
I felt like they were trying to get to 10 again.
Yeah, compete level is definitely there right now.
Yeah. Yes.
At least in that game. Carrying on into Saturday, I thought maybe a little bit lackluster effort
Mm-hmm.
to an extent. I mean, we were down trailing 4-1 at one point. Battled back to tie the game. Unfortunately, did lose in overtime, but um, it not anybody in particular's fault. The Chiefs were a little bit shorthanded, suffering a couple of injuries in Seattle the night before.
Yeah. What happened? Who was out? Because
So that hit that Coco
we only
Armstrong
we only
took,
played 10 forwards last night, right?
yeah, 3 lines and an extra skater. So Coco Armstrong took that hit from Simon Loveson, the hit to the
Mm-hmm.
head in Seattle the night before. Played the rest of the game. Boyle said on the radio that he was feeling the after effects yesterday, and so he wasn't gonna play that night. And then I guess I didn't realize it, but the Chiefs did play 11 forward 7D on Sunday or on Friday in
They did.
Seattle.
I knew that. Yeah.
Caden Allen was the seventh defenseman, and I don't think I saw him play one shift, but apparently he was out there at one point, but he got banged up in his shift and he was
Oh,
out of the
really?
lineup as well. So if he was available, he would have been the seventh defenseman on Saturday as well. We would have just played 10 and 7, but unfortunately couldn't do that. Mathis Preston and Sam Oremba still out of the lineup as well. And so Chiefs playing pretty shorthanded, so you got to give them
Mm-hmm.
credit there playing, 3 lines, extra skater, but they just throw Brody Gillespie on a line here and there. Um, it is what it is. Carter Essler gets the start in net. Again, we are a little bit confused by it. Not that I don't have any trust in in Essler, because I do.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a great guy in the future,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like, a game against a team that we're battling for in the conference standings, you would play your number one. But it it didn't have any effect on the game necessarily, because he played a very very
He
good
played
game
good.
and made some
Yeah.
very good saves when needed. But um, yeah, the Chiefs lose that game 5-4 in overtime. Berkly Catton bobblehead night.
Nice.
I have yours here, by the
You have
way.
my thank you.
I think it's a pretty cool, snazzy little bobblehead here. Got the
Nice.
detachable stick,
Did
and
you open up the other one too to make sure it's not an autographed one?
oh, I didn't actually.
Oh,
And then you got the fish.
Oh, nice.
a fish throw. I think that's pretty cool. So I was pretty stoked to be able to get my hands on one of those. I'll have to check and see if yours is because
Yeah.
I have completely forgot about that.
God, I hope we can interview that guy at some point this season.
Um, so yeah, early on, Victoria scores the first goal of the game, 10 minutes in on the power play. Um, Taden Trembecki with a shot from the point that just kind of squeezed its way through everybody and snuck through the pads of Carter Essler. Berkly Catton answers 4 minutes later on the power play with a nice one-timer, a nice feed from Andrew Crystal in the middle of the slot, and he just absolutely ripped it past Jaden Krause. So the game's tied at 1 going into the first intermission. Second period, it was pretty much all Victoria. I feel like the Chiefs really took their foot off of the gas going into that second period. Maybe a little bit of
Hmm.
fatigue from playing the night before, plus the overnight travel and being so shorthanded. I don't know, but yeah, second period it was all Victoria. Former Wenatchee Wild and Chief killer Kenta Isegai with 2 goals in the second period. 24th, 25th of the year, as well as Reggie Newman getting a goal. So 5 minutes left in the second period. Chiefs are trailing 4-1. Fortunately, 2 minutes left in the second period. Berkly Catton scores once again to pick up his 29th goal of the season. So 6 goals and an assist in the 2 games this weekend for Burke, assisted by Shea Van Olman and Andrew Crystal. And then, so obviously get a little bit of momentum going into the locker room. 4-2 after 2, 30 seconds into the third period on the power play. Shea Van Olm gets his 40th goal of the season. First player in the Western Hockey League to 40 goals this year.
Isn't that
So I,
crazy?
I I think that's pretty cool seeing an unconventional guy that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be putting up that many goals to be the first to hit that in the league. Once again on the power play. So the power play last night was good. Chiefs were 2 for 3 on the power play. Um, Unfortunately, Victoria was also 2 for 3 on the power play, so the Chiefs were just 1 for 3 on the penalty kill. But um, so yeah, 30 seconds in the third period. It's a 1 goal game, and things are kind of looking like we might be trying to battle back a little bit. 6 minutes left in the third period. Kind of a weird goal. Did you
That
watch
was
any of those highlights?
I watched the highlights. Yeah, that was a fluky one.
What a weird goal. I mean, Catton carries the puck into the zone and gets poked off his stick. Crampton's just coming off of the bench and hustles up to keep the puck into the blue line and just kind of smacks it toward the goal, and it fooled everybody and it went in the net. You could tell that even he was surprised that it went in
Yeah,
because I mean it was just kind of a throw it on net situation, and all of a sudden the 8,000 people there are going crazy. So
yeah.
tied game, 5 minutes left in the third period. Chiefs had some really good pressure in the last minute, potentially trying to get that game winner without going into overtime, but couldn't beat the goaltender. And then going into overtime, Chiefs pick up a point after battling back, being down 3. So we're in 3-on-3. Owen Martin takes an interference penalty. Did you see the video of this?
I did.
What's your opinion on it?
That's a no call.
I don't think that's something you can call in regulation, let alone overtime.
Agreed. Agreed.
Like I said last night in a couple of comments, I don't like being that person that harps on the officiating because they're human and I get it, but
It's a developmental league.
Trevor Nolan has been horrible this season.
We talked about that in one of the earlier pods, I believe.
Nothing short of horrible. I mean, I don't think I've seen him call a good game this year. He either misses the blatant ones or calls the chintzy ones, and I gotta be honest, I don't like it because I
No.
see it. I see it being called on us, and I see it being called on the other teams as well. And
Hmm.
it's just like, dude, what the hell are you even watching out there?
No, I feel like that call is only being made if you're looking to make a call,
Exactly,
and you should not be
exactly.
looking to make a call in overtime.
No, not at all. And it's not like the penalties were lopsided at that point or anything.
Exactly.
It's that's something that you got to let go. Owen Martin picking up that interference penalty. It was dropped the puck off to the D man and was just trying to hold the line. And the Victoria player was backing up, trying to play defense, and they just ran into each other.
Yeah.
And nobody was trying to hit anybody.
No, like you said, he was just trying to hold the line. It was that simple. Yeah.
That's just not something you can call an overtime. But
No.
it was a shitty way to put a cap on a really good hockey game, I thought. But Victoria gets the power play in overtime, and Chiefs were so close to killing it off too.
Yeah. Essler made a couple of good saves there on that.
Essler made some huge saves. Victoria hit a post, and then unfortunately that first penalty kill unit just couldn't get off of the ice.
Yeah.
And they were out there pretty much the whole time, and they finally ended up sniping one past Carter Essler, who once again he's gonna hang his head on it, but he played a great game, and I think that he needs to take away some of the key saves that he did make in that game and just kind of go from there and not really dread on the goals that he gave up, because none of them were his fault. He played a great game, and Chiefs being shorthanded didn't help. But you know what? It is what
at
it
one
is.
point.
Yeah, if you battle him back to get a point, and Everett did end up losing to Vancouver last night as well.
And who did I tell you I was afraid of in the first round of the playoffs?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. After watching Victoria last night, I don't want to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, they're going to be right up there near the top of the conference with us, but I don't think I'd want to play Victoria.
No, he's the guy's a Chief killer.
Yeah, who was that other Chief killer from Portland a couple years back?
Oh,
there's one every year.
There is one every year. Yeah.
And whether he's in Wenatchee or Victoria, is Kent Isa guys that are killer this year.
Yeah, and I think we had one in Everett a couple years ago too.
It was from Delorme.
Yes,
that's who it was. Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit bummed when he got traded out of the U.S. division, but he's still in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
But whatever. It is what it is. He picked up 2 goals and 2 assists last night. Got the first start of the game.
He's a good player.
Berkly Catton with 2 goals and an assist. Overall, love seeing the effort and being able to battle back from the 3-goal deficit toward the end of the second period. Obviously, would have liked to pick up the 2 points, but picking up at least 1 point on Everett is huge with them losing. So I think we're 11 points behind them in the standings right now. And I mean, still got a month and a half left in the regular season. So still some time. Obviously, it's a big jump to catch them still, but the Chiefs are in a prime position to clinch a playoff spot in the next few games too. With Everett being the first team in the WHL to clinch, I think it was Friday night.
It was.
And so yeah, I mean, Chiefs outshot Victoria 37-26, just fell a little bit short in overtime, but first overtime loss of the year too. We've played a few overtime games, a couple, but we've been victorious in all of them. This is the first OT loss we've had this year. So again, it's just nice to be able to battle back and at least pick up that 1 point.
Yeah. No, it was. I have nothing bad to say about any of it. The Chiefs goals were nice to see on the highlights. I didn't get a chance to go to the game because I was celebrating my birthday. We won't say how old I am, but I'm old.
You don't look a day over 40.
Oh, thank you.
Stud sitting in front of that fake fireplace.
Well, God, I wish it was a real fireplace. It's getting colder than shit out there.
I got my real well, not real, but my simulated fireplace on back here.
I have mine going too, but it's 15 degrees outside already.
Oh, man. Yeah, see, it's supposed to get down to like 10 tonight.
I saw 8 a little bit ago.
Ugh, gross.
And then like 2 tomorrow night.
Great.
Yeah.
That's going to be miserable. I might have to get my...
It's supposed to be windy too the next couple of days too. They're talking wind chills like -15, -20.
Oh, I'm going to have to get my gator out. Nice.
Yeah, you should.
Great. All right. Well, that's fun.
It's hockey season.
Thanks for ruining my day.
Yeah, sorry. Did you get a chance to post anything to the group tonight?
I did not.
I was wondering about that. That's all right. This our 50th episode. It should be more just about us.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. As selfish as it is, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you know, with the player interviews, it'll be a little bit longer of an episode as well.
That's true.
But before we get into our final interview, I'll give an update on some points. Andrew Crystal still leading the WHL in points with 95 right now. He's pushing 100. Berkly Catton sitting at 79 right now, and him and Crystal played roughly the same amount of games too, which is not all of them.
Right.
So which is pretty cool. Shea Van Holm's sitting at 75. He has 40 goals.
First 40 goal scorer of the season.
Yeah, in the entire league.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Like I was saying, it's cool seeing it kind of an unconventional guy that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be putting up those
Yes,
kinds
it
of
is.
numbers, being the first to do so.
Yeah.
Just all around, this team is really well put together, and they're playing very, very well as a unit. And I think that hopes are high for the postseason this year.
No, agreed. Who's the one player that I want to say in like the last 4 or 5 games has really stood out to you besides Catton? Obviously,
Besides the top line,
yeah.
Coco Armstrong. I
Yeah.
think, he's out with an injury right now. Hopefully it's nothing too long term, but concussions are a little bit unpredictable, and it sounds
Yeah.
like he might be dealing with some sort of concussion symptoms. But I think his game has just been night and day difference from last year. I mean, I liked his game last year, but he's a completely different player this year. He's playing with more of a chip on his shoulder. He's grittier out there. He's our absolute, in my opinion, our best penalty killer.
I like him on the forecheck too.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is even on the forecheck or on the penalty kill, he's forechecking. Like he's dumping the puck down, and then he's the first guy down there, winning the race to get down there and just pinning the puck on the boards and working around, killing time on the penalty kill. I've been really impressed with that. And then he's been able to put the puck in the back of the net. He's scoring more than he has been too, and I think if I had to pick one guy, it'd be him for sure.
Nice. For me,
what
it's
about
Martin.
you?
Owen Martin.
Yeah, him too. He's
That
really
kid's
stepped up.
That kid's going to be special.
I agree. It sucks that he sat out a month and a half this year with that ankle injury, but I am glad that he's not out for the rest of the season. I had heard rumors that he was going to be done for the year, but got him back late January, and he's looking better than ever too. So I think that that's just going to improve, and that's a key guy to have on your team for depth in the playoffs too.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the best face-off guys in the league. Great in the dot. I like that pick as well.
Yeah.
How about defensively?
I'd say they're in Shetler as far as the young guys. I mean, McIsaac and Mays have been solid all year long, but those two guys especially.
I think in the last week I've noticed a lot of really, really good things out of Nathan Mays and Rhett Sather. I think Sather has taken a huge jump in the last month. He's getting more playing time, so he's getting a little bit more confident out there. He doesn't look shaky. He doesn't make any, stupid plays or anything like that. He just makes the simple passes and gets the puck on net and makes these great feeds to Andrew Crystal side of the net for a tap in. I mean, keep that shit up. He's got double-digit assists on the year now. Just still looking for his first goal, but it's coming. It'll happen at some point. I mean, his game has really stepped up, and Nathan Mays, his physicality has really stood out to me in the last week and a half or so. He's thrown some huge, devastating hits, and then dropping the gloves in Seattle the other night. Like seeing that out of him too. But yeah, if I had to pick, I'd say you're saying Shetler and Sather. I'd say Sather and Mays, but. But yeah, just really all around great effort from everybody right now.
Yeah, it's enjoyable to watch for sure.
Next game, what do we got? We got Wenatchee on Tuesday.
Donnie Knockbar coming into town again.
Oh boy, what are we thinking for that game? What's going to happen?
I I could see it going one of two ways. I could see it being a close game and we still win, and I could see it being, we're not satisfied with our effort last night. We're going to come out and put the foot on the gas, and I could see another big goal output and win something like 6-2 or something like that.
Yeah, I think with losing that game last night, I feel like that's going to kind of put a chip on everybody's shoulder to come out and just kind of dominate. So
the way the team is right now, me too.
With the offensive output that we have on our top 3 lines, especially, I think that they're going to come out and they're going to put up goals. But you know what? Hockey, anything can happen in hockey. Donnie Knock's a great coach, and they got a good young team in Wenatchee. Lucas Sherbina has been tearing it up offensively for Wenatchee in the last couple of weeks. So that's a guy to kind of look out for. He might be playing with an extra chip on his shoulder, playing against his former team as
Hmm.
well. So that's another thing to kind of keep your eye out for. But yeah, I mean I'm feeling good going into the game, and then four straight against Tri-City over the next 2 weeks as well with
Is
a
it
couple
really?
pair of home and homes. Yeah, we
Oh
play
wow.
them Friday, Saturday, and then the following.
Oh
Whoa,
wow.
wait, actually, I'm looking at this now. We play Friday, Saturday, Monday, February 17th,
President's Day.
President's Day. We play a 2 o'clock game up in Kamloops.
Interesting. We used to. There was one time we played the President's Day game and the daytime game in where they don't turn on the lights in Portland. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool when they had the curtains open.
Yeah.
Yep, I do remember that. So yeah, we have Tri-City down in Kennewick on Friday, and Saturday back home at the arena, and then Monday in Kamloops 2 p.m. and then another home and home the next weekend with the Ams. So it's a big divisional games
Yeah.
coming up against Tri-Cities, and then Kamloops in the West. A couple teams toward the bottom of their respective divisions, but still could be big games. Tri-Cities has played us well all year, so anything can really happen with that. Kamloops is playing better lately as well, so it's gonna be a fun next 4 or 5 games, I think.
Yeah. Every game counts as 2 points if you win and 0 points if you lose.
Ain't that the truth?
And is the
It-
truth. That's the wisdom I have for you after my birthday, just in case you were wondering where that came from.
no, well, it not only is it good advice, it's just common knowledge, I guess. You got to get 2 points. You got to go out there. Every game's important, right?
That's right.
So, 50th episode. Already had our one player interview, and we have one more to share with you guys. Probably our biggest get yet, and I think this is everybody's gonna love listening to this, and not only Chiefs fans, but Seattle Kraken fans are probably gonna enjoy
I
listening to
agree.
this as well. Um, what a great kid! Again,
Super, super humble.
just like Ozzy, just really, really, really nice, and you could tell just by the way that he composes himself that he's just a great leader and he's the perfect captain for this team.
Yes.
We did get Berkly Catton on for about a 20-minute interview a couple of days ago, and um, just kind of talked to him about his experience at the draft and being named captain of the Chiefs and just kind of how his season's going so far, playing with Crystal and Shea Van Olman, guys like that too, and just kind of where he wants the team to go going into the playoffs and kind of where their mindset's at. So yeah, I had a nice conversation with him, and I guess we'll send it over to him now.
All right.
Well, we are so excited to bring on our next guest, selected first overall by the Chiefs in the 2021 WHL Bantam Draft and the eighth overall selection of the Seattle Kraken in the 2024 NHL Draft. The captain of the Spokane Chiefs, Berkly Catton. How we doing, man?
Good. Yeah, really good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely nice to be able to get you on. You've had a pretty busy year so far with, being between the NHL draft and going to World Juniors for Team Canada. What kind of describe what the last year has been like for you?
Yeah, honestly, like kind of at the start of that Holinka tournament, the U18s there, that past summer. Ever since then, it's kind of just been go 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 really with that tournament, and then playing the full season last year, then the draft combine, the draft development camp, World Junior camp, then it all started again with the camp at the start of the year in Seattle. So it's kind of been all go go go, but that's kind of what you sign up for. So it's been really fun, and to compare it at the start of last year to now, I've definitely learned a lot. So it's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're settling into this season now, and kind of all that up and down stuff is behind you for a while now too, and you can just kind of focus the rest of the season?
Yeah, 100%. I think kind of coming back from the NHL camp, it's kind of it's a different pace and it's a different kind of environment. So it was a little bit of an adjustment to come back, though I would say that first kind of month was a little different. And then, I kind of think since then, I've been feeling good and kind of feel like you said, kind of back in the tracks and just focusing on this season and, winning the league ultimately. So, it's been lots of fun though.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are off to y'all got off to a really good start this year. and then just kind of carry that at a continual pace through the rest of the season so far. Growing up in like a hockey hotbed like Saskatoon, was hockey always like kind of your number one go-to?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're 2 years old, 3 years old, you just get the pond somewhere random up north in Saskatchewan, and you just kind of go from there. And every winter, it's kind of just outdoor rinks and hockey, and even in the summer, road hockey and stuff. Just kind of where I'm from, that's the way it always was, and all my buddies play and still do to this day. So, that's kind of just how I got raised, and didn't really know much else. So, that part's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was watching that TSN interview they did with you around the World Juniors, and your parents were talking about you shooting pucks in the basement at the dryer like Sidney Crosby. Was that kind of like your always go-to guy looking up to as a hockey player?
Yeah, I think that's every Canadian kid's, kind of role model. I remember seeing something about him shooting a puck into a dryer, and then all of a sudden our dryer, I don't think I even had permission, but our dryer was wrecked within the next couple of days because I wanted to be a kid. So I got in trouble, but, looking back now, it's kind of a cool memory, and, my parents kept the little door off it. So kind of something I'll always kind of have to look back on, kind of to the roots of where I came from and stuff. So pretty cool.
Kind of like a little trophy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
have to have that on the ball one day.
I want to say Sid's parents also kept the infamous dryer. I'm pretty sure it's like still in their house or something.
They did. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like hockey parents are crazy. They'll keep like the weirdest things, like socks, all this stuff. So, it's weird when you're a little kid, but now looking back, I guess it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of little stuff to remember it by.
Yeah.
When you were picked by the Chiefs, did you know anything really about Spokane or like the organization or anything like that?
Well, honestly, like not really. I mean, I obviously went to lots of Blades games and stuff, but
Yeah.
they play each other once every 2 years at home, right? So I didn't really know much about them. Obviously, I knew a lot about the Western League because that was kind of always my dream to play in it. But Spokane in that American division, I'd say the most probably. It's didn't know a whole lot about it, and then Adam Beckman, who obviously played here, and getting to talk to him, and there's a couple other guys from Saskatoon, and just like how much it was praised and stuff. So I learned a lot about it quick, and even just researching stuff, watching that kind of first video of all the fans, it's like, oh my, this is the team I'm going to, and the song, that was kind of the first thing I remember is hearing the whole song, and so I learned a lot about it quick. But no, right when they kind of had that pick or picked me, I guess I didn't know much about it at all.
Yeah, we had Ossie McIntyre on yesterday, and we were talking with him a little bit too, and he was talking about the goal song and how that was kind of the first thing that he really kind of just like brought him into that moment too. Yeah.
Very cool.
That was pretty cool.
Glad it leaves an impression because it seems to leave an impression on even random people that don't follow hockey and just wander into the arena. So
yeah, well, even like my friends that come in and play in Spokane that usually don't, they're like shocked when everyone's up clapping when we score. So it's kind of a cool tradition, I think, and cool for everyone.
You've been able to do that quite a bit this year.
Yeah, no kidding.
What we want, so it's gonna keep.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
You got anything?
How much fun are you having this year with this team compared to last year's team? Because I can just tell you from a fan's perspective in the stands too, we can just feel a different air in the arena this season versus last season too. With changes obviously with coaching staff and things like that too, but also players as well too. How much fun is this for you?
It's so much fun, honestly. Like, I mean, there's been a couple of us kind of been here since the dog days, I guess, when we won 13 games the whole year, and like that was horrible. So that's like me, Cramps, I guess Sager really, and Willie and Parzi. So there are guys that are were there for that, and then the last year I guess was a little bit of a jump, right? We won a couple more games, got into the playoffs. It was still that feeling of like losing on 4 games in the playoffs, getting swept, and then this year I think it's just a whole different dynamic with everything from practice to going into games. It's like losing isn't like even in anyone's heads ever really. So that's really fun. And, I think everyone's goal this year is just going a long playoff run and, play till you can wear shorts in the summer. So that's kind of looking at it.
Yeah, everybody looks like they're having fun out there. I mean, you guys don't look like you're under any stress at all out there on the ice. Even, in a time when you're down a couple of goals or something, everybody just looks calm and like they're enjoying it, which is what it's supposed to be about.
100%. I think that kind of goes to confidence too. Like you're gonna play better. You're gonna have more fun when you're confident in your abilities. And I think we're a deep team this year, so that's always fun knowing that you just kind of hand the baton off to the next line and they go roll, and it's like a kind of a snowball effect, I guess, in some of these games where one line gets going, then the other, then it's just we're rolling over teams. So that's kind of the way we draw it up and the way we like it to be. So it's a lot of fun that way.
Yeah. Winning is definitely more fun.
Yep, that's the bottom. A lot more fun.
So I have a question for you about your experience at World Juniors. How was that?
Yeah, so
obviously not the outcome Canada wanted, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, like you kind of mentioned before, being a Canadian kid in a hockey market like Saskatoon, the World Juniors is like the biggest deal in the world. So
yeah,
to get to play, for your country and wear the Canadian crest in Canada, that first kind of warm up there in a sold out NHL arena, with all wearing red and white, like that's kind of a core memory now for me and something I'll never forget. Obviously that it was a tough, right? Like, losing to Latvia there and in a home barn,
mm-hmm.
that was really tough. And then just kind of stuff seemed to not go our way at all. And, sometimes that happens, but I think, hopefully next year can, kind of flip that narrative a bit and have a good tournament. But, the experience itself was amazing once in a lifetime, I guess, kind of experience, but, very cool. Got to meet lots of cool people and ultimately playing the coolest tournament in all of hockey, or at least coolest junior tournament in all hockey.
Nice. That's do you give Andrew crap at all about like, what, we should have been teammates a lot sooner because you should have been on that team?
Yeah, that's we both kind of have our opinions about that, but
yeah,
that would have been nice to have a little bit more scoring for sure. But yeah. We do talk about it sometimes. So
I wonder if you guys
the comment sections on bar down post will show you where the Canadian mindset is on where Crystal should have been. So,
yeah, for sure. That's 100%.
But, going along with that, being able to acquire a guy like that in Spokane, I mean, you and Ulmer have been putting up video game numbers all season. Yeah. And now with Crystal, I mean, that's just skyrocketing even more. What's it like playing on a line with those guys?
Yeah, it's like a mix of everything, right? Like, Crystal's able to slow down the game and make plays. Ulmer's, in front of the net will bang home anything that's sitting there. And then, I kind of bring the speed, I guess. So we have a little bit of everything. And just with AC, it's like everything that touches his stick is like in the net or passes someone that is going in the net. So, he's a treat to play with, highest point getter in the league and a treat, and just kind of give us that extra, almost sense of confidence and that extra oomph to kind of, propel us even higher up and be a better team all around.
How stoked were the boys when you guys found out that trade went through?
Yeah, I mean, everyone was kind of waiting around, right? Because we knew that him and Price were getting traded out of Kelowna there. So it was just the, kind of last minute thing or later on in the deadline there. And, it was kind of, I think guys knew it was between a couple teams and kind of heard that he actually texted me. He's like, "Let's go." So I was like, "Okay." I'm hoping that's for to be teammates here, but so that was cool. But yeah, it worked out really well.
Cool.
Obviously, a bummer, sending Poppy off the other way, but a good chance for him to play in Kelowna Memorial Cup next year and everything too. And he's got a great future ahead too. And I think this was just an all around great trade for everybody. I mean, it's definitely paid off for the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, and Poppy's so good too. Like,
yeah,
but getting to be in the Mem Cup next year and be in that kind of environment, and he's gonna be a top guy on that team. That's how good he is. So, and then us getting AC, it worked out both ways, kind of like you said.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I wanted to ask, do you have any like weird pregame rituals?
Honestly, I'm a guy that likes to be pretty loose. Like, I'm not too uptight about anything. I think. If you kind of watch my game a little bit, it's not loose, but I like to be free and, make plays. So before the game, I think there's, I just like to, kind of listen to music and talk to everyone. I don't like to have, earbuds in too much, just like to, kind of talk and feel free-minded, I guess is kind of the way I like to go about it. But, maybe putting on my left skate before my right, probably stuff I've done so much now. It's not even superstition. It's like a habit, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that's like, if something goes wrong, I'm freaking out or anything. But, I kind of used to be like that, and that usually never ends up well. In the Western Leagues, when you're going over that pass to Seattle and you get there 20 minutes before the game, you can't be too worried
Oh God.
and have to go play, right? So
Yeah.
I get rid of that and, just ultimately just be free-minded and, play free kind of.
Now, you do seem very free-minded and just very relaxed and mellow out there on the ice, except for when a referee misses a call. I like to see our captain get fired up, so I got to give kudos for that. But who would you say on the team is the biggest so-called talker out there?
Shea. I don't even think it's close. It's
good. Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's always talking. That's just kind of the way he is, right? Like that's when he's up in your face and so I would have to say Shea's the biggest talker, but he's good at what he does. So
there you go.
Yeah, definitely is.
When we had Boiler on, he made reference to that too. That Shea's always wanted to do interviews with him too, just because he wants to be heard.
He's asking Boiler for interviews today. Yeah, I could see that.
Boiler was such a good interview. He talked about how much different this team is as opposed to the last few seasons, and just how everything just feels, again, like just overall just so much better than like the vibes in the locker room and everything too, and everybody's just more confident in themselves and how the team is playing and everything too. So it's really nice to see as a fan that's been around for a long time watching Chiefs and stuff too. It's like it's nice seeing this offensive output out there.
Yeah, 100%. It feels like a pro environment, even going to play in Seattle there for a bit. And, Brad's been in the NHL, playing the NHL for 10 years or whatever, coach for 10 years. He's been in that environment and he knows what it takes to kind of stay there and to coach there, obviously. So, I think he kind of brings that element to our team and, it's going to help guys now, obviously, and get to the next level. So I think, kind of credit to him. It's been great that way.
Yeah.
I have a question for you that I've always wondered for a draft pick. How much influence do the Kraken have over you, and do they keep an eye on you, and do they have you do things while you're playing for the Chiefs still too? Are they watching games that you play?
Yeah, 100%. I think it kind of works out well too with being so close to each other and me being in Everett and Seattle all the time. They'll kind of come to games, pop in, and we'll talk after for a bit. And, they always kind of have input and whatnot. But yeah, there's guys that keep in, kind of tabs with all the time. And, throughout the season, just, how progress is going, what they're thinking, and, kind of how I'm feeling and stuff. So there's definitely lots of communication stuff throughout the season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Last question I have for you, it kind of goes in with that question. What was it like at the draft, like experiencing like this sphere in Vegas and, being able to meet Seattle legends like Marshawn Lynch and everything?
Yeah, I feel like kind of entering that sphere. I don't remember a whole lot after that. I feel like all the pictures and stuff are what I remember, just because it was such a, so much nerves and excitement and whatnot. But like getting my name called and kind of having my family there who I, care about most in the world and getting to hug them and then going on the stage there, what you've seen all the best players in the world go do. And then you're kind of up there. It's pretty surreal. And, obviously getting to hang out with Marshawn was something else. That guy's, real deal and lots of fun to hang out with. So, and then, obviously like here, everyone loves the Kraken and, I even go to a game now and people have 27 Kraken jerseys somehow. It's just like, it's awesome to see. And being in, the Pacific Northwest here, I absolutely love it here. So I feel like it just all, really worked out well. And it's been great that way.
I went to that draft party at the arena, and it was so loud in there when they announced your name.
Yeah.
I was so bummed I missed that. I was camping and I was bummed out, but
yeah.
Actually, sorry, real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt, but going back to the draft, did you have an idea going into that wherever the Kraken were picking? It's escaping me at the moment. that
Yeah.
if you were still available when it got to them, that they were going to take you? Did you have any idea, or was it kind of a surprise?
Honestly, like it's kind of different with every team. I think like some teams are really showy about how much they like you and what they think
Mhm.
of, and then some teams you know obviously if they like you or dislike you, but it's like they're not as they won't tell you as much. So I had idea of teams after that. I think I was pretty certain I would go to, but up until then, I really had no clue. I know went out for dinner with a couple teams that were picking ahead of them, and obviously that's usually a pretty good thing when it comes to picking and stuff. But didn't end up going to any of those, and then I kind of suspected within those next couple picks I would go, and obviously, I one of the people I know ahead must have seen something. They were sitting down ahead of me, and they must have seen the pick or something go through, and they kind of looked back and gave me a wink. So I even knew a little bit before the pick. I never told anyone that actually, but yeah, they actually knew a little bit before the pick. So it's kind of a cool little story, but yeah, it worked. Like I said, it worked out really well, and getting to go to Seattle is really cool.
We're glad you're staying in the Pacific Northwest so we can watch you some more too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure. Do you, I know hockey is obviously your life, probably pretty much 23 and a half hours a day, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies you like to do when you're not thinking playing hockey?
Yeah, I like to do lots. I'm not like a guy that has another specific thing, but like I go back home and I'm huge into like golfing and pickleball, and like I'm all over like the little, like not weird sports but different sports that like you wouldn't play, maybe in a hockey season or even really have attachments to hockey. But and then just being back home in Saskatchewan, that's kind of home for me. So going up north to the lakes, fishing and doing all that stuff. So just kind of being at home and relaxing, being a kid, nothing really too crazy. But yeah, do love doing lots of stuff other than hockey, even though sometimes it may not seem
Good
like. Yeah.
Good for you. What's your handicap? Curious.
Handicap? To eight, 9.
Nothing wrong with single digit.
No, pretty good. I'm pretty good. At the end of the summer, I'm better than the start, but not a bad golfer. So
I'm a golf professional here, so that's why I have to ask these questions.
oh, really? Yeah.
So if you come to the end of the season, you're still in town a while, and you want to come and get a lesson or something too, let me know.
Hey,
Shameless plug on his services.
yeah. Oh, seriously? I know about that. I'm all in for that. So
yeah.
That was all that I had for you. Do you guys have anything else?
No.
I got one more. So this might be a better question to ask as we get further in and get closer to playoffs, but kind of circling back, you mentioned that Prince George series a little bit ago last year. Is there anything that you, as the captain or the guys remaining carried over from last year's team, that are going to be able to take away from that series, and just probably how disappointing it was for all of you going into playoffs this year?
Yeah, like just how you can't take anything for granted, really. Like it's you start the playoffs one week and it feels like literally the next week you're done. So, everything you just prepared for anything that can happen, and honestly, just not take anything for granted. Obviously, this year, and we're gonna go into it having that mindset of winning the league, and obviously that'll start with winning the first game until game whatever it takes to win the league. But I think not getting too far ahead, just kind of staying in the moment and riding it out. And we're such a tight team, so just really bonding together and moving as one unit through that playoff kind of thing, and ultimately just kind of staying in the moment. That'll be kind of my message to the team, and I'm sure all the boys will buy in great because we have a great group. So obviously finish out this regular season good, but that's what we're all really looking forward to there is the playoffs. So yeah,
it's definitely been fun to see that.
Yeah,
you guys make it look so easy out there, man.
Yeah, done a good night.
Yeah. Well, Burke, this was awesome. Thanks for doing this, man.
Thanks for
really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on, guys. Love what you guys are doing, so it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Go get him this weekend.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Burke, for coming on. That was so awesome.
That was so cool. I was glad we could get TC to sit on that one with us too.
Yeah, so much fun.
What a good kid.
Really, really nice kid. Very fun interview. Just really, again, like you said, a really humble guy for
Yeah.
being such a good hockey player. I mean, he's definitely up there with one of the nicer guy, like hockey guys out there,
Yeah.
I think.
How about that little story about getting the wink at the draft?
Yeah, yeah, the Chief Central
He said he'd never
exclusive.
really told anybody that before. I felt like they had some inside information.
The Chief Central exclusive.
And what's with the goal scoring after we interviewed him? Because we interviewed him before Friday's game. And how many goals did he have in the 2 games this weekend?
Yeah, interview had him on Wednesday, gave him a little podcast bump, 4 goals on Friday and 2 on Saturday, so 6 goals on the weekend for him after the podcast.
How
So
many points total? Like 10 points in 2 games? He has some apples too, I think.
Eight, because he
Yeah.
had 2 assists, 6 goals, 2 assists. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so much fun getting to interview him, and um, just again, really glad that he was gracious enough to give us some of his time to come on during the week before the weekend games. So
Yeah. And
um,
he said he liked what we're doing, that we're doing this too. That means a lot too, coming from the captain of the team as well.
oh, definitely, and I feel like that. Some of the other players be seeing that he was on and scoring 6 goals at in the weekend, maybe wanting to hop on themselves. So, any of the boys that listen, you feel free. Shoot
Yeah.
us a DM on Instagram or something, and
Yeah.
we'll get something set up.
We'd love to.
But yeah, so much fun, and I'm glad that we were able to kind of get a couple of big guests to come on for our milestone episode here.
And nice to know that he plays golf too.
Yeah, pretty cool. It'd be nice to see if he'll hit you up for a lesson.
Yeah, I actually had somebody shot me an idea and thought it'd be a great idea to do a Chiefs tournament at the end of the year and have all the boys come and play in the tournament, maybe at Downriver or something, and set something up.
That'd actually be awesome.
That would be kind of fun.
That'd be really cool. We could sponsor it.
We could, exactly. Exactly.
No,
So-
that's a great idea.
So if we get some more interviews with some of the boys, we'll ask them that idea and see what they think.
I like it.
Yeah,
I'll pull it on Instagram.
there you go. Perfect. I like it. Even better.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, just a great kid, and we got his bobblehead right here now too. So it's sitting right next to my camera setup here. So
You could open up that other one and see if it's one of the autographed ones.
you know what? I'll go do that right now. I'll go grab
You
it. We'll
should.
do a live unboxing.
I think we should do a live unveiling.
Nice little box here as well.
Nice.
Kind of here. I'm gonna turn off my green screen here really quick.
I like when the Chiefs do the bobbleheads.
Yeah, I do too. So yeah, we got the Berkly Catton bobblehead. Got all of his some of his stats back here. First overall
Nice.
pick, gold medal. All this. I'm guessing this is. I don't know where these goals are from. Oh, as a 17-year-old.
Crazy.
So yeah, pretty cool. We'll do the unboxing here.
If it is the one autographed one, you can have it.
Okay. I was gonna stay after the game because he was doing the post-game autograph session last night.
I wondered if you would.
I was going to, but I worked 11 hours yesterday, so I was pretty gassed.
Yeah, that would have been cool. You could have said, "Hey, since you did the pod."
Yeah, oh, he would have done it.
Oh, I know he would have.
I forgot the stick's not in there. You got to put it in yourself.
Uh-huh.
Just fell on the ground.
Just
Hopefully
like
my
my-
cats don't eat it.
Just like my Tyler Johnson one.
Yep. I'm not seeing any autograph on here.
Well, you know what? We're gonna get him to autograph our bobbleheads at some point, whether it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
golf course for that golf lesson at the end of the season or somewhere along the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's a nice little thing. I love the fish throwing thing.
That's a
Some
great touch.
Seattle Kraken influence there.
Yeah, that's a great touch.
Throw the stick in right here. And yeah, it looks great over here on my desk. So
You know, don't let the cats knock it off.
I'll try not to. You know what? Since we're talking bobbleheads now, I'm going to show this. I have this. 1 second.
Where did he go, ladies and gentlemen?
I have that Memorial Cup bobblehead. Where did I put my headphones?
Did it break just like it did in real life?
What's that?
Did it break just like it did in real life?
So I have that Memorial Cup bobblehead that they handed out. I think it was the year after, or
Yeah.
maybe 2 years after, but with the Chiefs logo on it and everything, it says 2008 Memorial Cup champions. I had it sitting on my desk over here. One of my cats a couple of weeks ago, or I guess it was a couple of months ago, knocked it off my desk, and it broke. And it broke
Imagine that.
exactly how it happened in
Imagine
08.
that.
So I couldn't even be mad about that because I mean that's just kind of how it went, right?
Take note of that, Chris Bruton.
Ain't that the truth? Oh man, but yeah, no, I was trying to like kind of piece it back together, but I figured, you know what, this is exactly how it was. So now I just have
There
them
you
sitting
go.
separately around here. But
I like
yeah, I'm gonna put your bobblehead back in the box here,
Well, I
and
appreciate you up for me on my birthday.
I got you. Don't you worry. Just glad that full season ticket holders are able to get it regardless of when you show up for the game because
Exactly. Reading too that because of that, that was not a ticket that you could turn back in to use if you didn't go.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I sent you both tickets so you could get the bobbleheads.
Yeah. So I got those picked up. I was still at my apartment, 20 minutes before game time, so I lived 2 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever, might as well. But yeah, so no signature, unfortunately, but we'll get that done at some point.
Yes, we will.
But just super stoked that we were able to get him on and maybe kind of get the ball rolling for some of the other guys to come on the show too. So I think
I hope so.
It's gonna be fun, and obviously I hope that we get some Seattle Kraken fans listening, and maybe too.
Yeah, exactly.
I know there's quite a bit of them in Spokane already, so that will be nice, and I'm sure we'll get some good viewership from this episode.
I hope so.
But I'm glad that we were able to get our guys in 50 episodes, man.
Nicely done, corralling those guys.
Yeah,
you're doing a heck of a job with them, following and reaching out to them like that. That's awesome.
What can I say, right?
Yeah, I'll get the old guys. I'll get Danny Holden and those guys, and you take care of Boiler and the guys on the team.
I'll do my best. I'm gonna see if we can get. We talked about it a little bit last week off air, but I'm gonna try to get Boiler again toward the end of the season, kind of get a little preview of playoffs.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
So I think that'll be pretty fun too. I'm sure he'd love to do it. So, yeah, here's to 100, right?
Yeah.
See you next year for 100.
100. Well, let's shoot for 51st next week before we get too far ahead of ourselves.
All right, fair enough. We'll have 3 games.
I guess we'll we can
kind of record next week's episode after that Kamloops game.
Yeah, we can do it on Monday night afterwards. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll come up for that game and we can watch it and just do it live up there.
Yeah, we could do it. Maybe do it during the third period. We could actually start to do the pod.
That'd be a good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
congratulations on 50, buddy.
Right back at you. Thanks for doing it with me.
All right. Go Chiefs, go.
Go Chiefs, go.